We're back.
Gail, it's so good to see you.
Hey, Tiffany, how are you?
I feel like it was only a week ago. Wait a minute. It was totally only a week ago. And we're back in the studio. You guys probably are just now getting to see the last podcast. And this is numero dos. Okay. Next time I'll say two. And you said uno, and I was trying to follow along there.
Sorry.
That's okay. I'm not mad at you.
I'm studying many languages at the moment, so I'm very confused.
That's
A lot of
okay.
the time, but that's good. It's making my brain work.
Yeah. If I had $1 for every time I was confused, I'd be wondering where all this money came from.
And then you'd be confused again. And you'd earn another $1.
Another $1. It's like a self-perpetuating money business. I should really look into that. So tell me about what's going on. What's going on with you? How's your week been?
Personal stuff. My youngest son turned 40 a week or so ago.
I was 7 when he was born.
His wife wanted to have a special event. Of course, we can't get together. He's in New York. His other brother is in the UK. So she arranged a Zoom historical trivia game.
Wow.
And it's, they're kind of being put out there by the people who do Airbnb, because all these Airbnb people are now out of work. So
ain't nobody staying at the place now.
So this guy is dressed up like Socrates, with a phony wig and beard, and I thought a funny accent, and I went, oh my God, he's kind of like Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
Who is this person? So we signed up and we get on there, and it was a riot because it was all this Greek trivia, but it turns out the guy is really Greek, and he's really in Athens, and he really knows all this cool stuff. And a lot of it was kind of racy, but fantastic. We had the best time. So if you're looking for a birthday event, historical trivia, and at the end he unmasks, and it's this little Greek guy who was in Athens.
How original. That's such a great idea. We did the for the Women in Film for our board meeting, we did a virtual escape room, which was super cool. But this, it sounds even better than that.
It was so cool. And they were true and false. And is this true? Is this not? And he had done all these graphics, like taking shots of vase paintings and stuff. And some of it was very suggestive.
Oh, wow. How fun.
So it's not for your grandmother, maybe, unless she's really cool.
Like this lady.
So,
which, I mean, it's got to say something for you. Oh, I've got a son over in London, and my other son, my younger son's in New York. Yeah, well, my 5-year-old, threw her Cheetos all over the place last night.
I did that years ago. I had fallen Cheetos a long time ago, so I've moved beyond that. So that was really cool. It was really cool to play that birthday game. So check it out. What else is going on? So I'm arranging my life now. I have an office where I do screening and computer stuff, and I shoot videos and stuff. But I have another room that was full of 41 boxes of stuff that I took out of my office when I retired. And it was just sitting there on a bed. So I decided,
okay, when you say stuff, are we talking like boxes of papers? Are we talking like...
I have a folder.
Are you a hoarder?
Every class I've ever
taught. That kind of thing. Now, aren't you required by law to keep them for a little while, and then you just haven't gotten rid of them?
A couple of years. But I also keep thinking, that was such a cool idea. Maybe I had to revisit that. And I've so moved on from that stuff. So anyway, I'm purging that, but I found headshots from all the shows I've directed in Texas.
Wow.
Hundreds of headshots. And I have good show presents. So I took all these good show presents and I put them on the bed, and I took a picture of them and posted them on Facebook. And I had all these wonderful comments from people.
That is so cool.
Yes, I remember that. My next thing is to put all of the headshots, without the name showing, on the floor and take a picture and just remember all those people.
That is really cool.
So I'm doing that kind of stuff.
See, I was sitting on a bunch of headshots a while back that I got rid of, mainly because they were for reality TV show casting.
So you like...
So I just had pictures of a bunch of people that wanted to be on TV. They were not actors.
Oh, you were casting
Yes. Yes. Sorry. Let me... which hat was I wearing on that one? When I did reality TV show casting, and I just had just tons of people. And the next reality show, I would just go back in and see which ones would be good for that. And Anyway, I will not do reality show casting anymore because I made some really nice people do some really terrible things in front of the entire world. But moving on, let's go. Yes. We have a big event coming up this Sunday. Yes. And I'm super excited about it. Via our last membership meeting, we had a couple of members out there that were like, hey, where's the Oscar party? And so I started asking around to my colleagues and the board, and I was like, hey, why don't we have an Oscar party? And everybody went, oh my gosh, that sounds really great. So at MediaTek, we have a huge live sound area. We're taking all of the social distancing protocols. Cool. We've got the hand sanitizer. We're taking people's temperatures. You're going to have to sign in, and then we'll have seating for you and your group so that it's safe for everybody. When you arrive, we are going to have your ballot with all of the lists of all of the films. Cool. And even if you haven't seen them, you can just do what I do. Hey, I like the sound of their name. Or, hey, their name has the same initials as my name does. So I'm going to vote for that person in that movie.
What a lot of people probably do.
Or what we should do is just vote for all women because we're women in film. And the other fun thing that we're going to do, which is my very favorite, is we're doing Oscar bingo. Okay, so unfortunately, there's only 30 cards because you can't duplicate 30 cards because then two people in the room are going to have the same card and it's just not going to work out. So the first 30 people to show up at our Oscar party will get a bingo card and you will win fabulous prizes. There's a $50 Amazon gift card on the line here with some MediaTek swag. And the bingo cards, have you ever seen a bingo card for one of these award shows, Gail?
No, what kind of stuff is on it?
It is so great. It's like the first person to cry. Oh. Or the first person to thank the Academy. Or, the first person.
You like me. You really like me.
Yes. Or the first person that holds the award above their head, or.
So who makes up all these questions and things?
I got it from a website and I would love to give it credit. However, I don't recall at the moment and I didn't do my homework.
Oscarbingo.com, check it out. Who knows?
Yeah, just go to Oscar ballots and then a bunch of things will show up. So that'll be fun. Yep. And we're going to have some popcorn and some cotton candy and, we got to have popcorn. It is a premiere.
And what's the ceremony going to be like this year? Is it going to be like the SAG Awards? It
says red carpet starts at 6:30. So I'm expecting something fantastic for the Academy Awards. Yeah. And, they do that. I don't know if you know this, but I was a little addicted to the E channel back when Joan Rivers used to tear people apart and just shred them. Yeah. Melissa tried to do it for a while. Could not hold it up. But I'm hoping that they'll do that little runway thing where they freeze frame them and they do the 360 turnaround so you can see how it looks from all angles. But I don't know. It's just everything's crazy right now. So we'll just have to see. Yeah. But speaking of red carpets, we have somebody coming up next that I'm super excited about.
Who is that?
That is actually somebody in this room. Our sound engineer and co-producer, Pam Barragan, is going to come talk to us in just a minute. Whoa! And guess what it's about?
Could it be something involving Pam? And maybe women in film dollars.
It's got all the things. Oh. And that's why we're just saying, because we're just saying all the things.
We're just saying all the right things.
That's what's up. So in just a minute, we're going to have some lovely music and some graphics. Right here, Pam. We're doing graphics here. And then we're going to be joined with Pam Barragan when we come back. We're going to talk about Women in Film Dallas's 2021 PSA project that is happening very soon.
Public service announcement.
Yeah. What she said. I was going to call it something else. So I'm glad you stepped in. All right. Well, here we are. We're back now with Pam Barragan.
What's up, guys? Hi.
So you could be sitting in this lovely hot seat if you would like to. Make sure that you let us know by emailing either myself or Gail at president@womeninfilmdallas.org. I'm like, are we a com, an edu,
No.
an org,
Definitely
or
org.
.net? Yes, we are definitely
Totally
an
org.
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 or vice president at Women in Film Dallas, WIF Dallas.org. And we'll put that in writing right about there. That'll be awesome.
Fix it in post.
So Barragan is here. Barragan. I just called you Barragan.
Hey, you can call me whatever you want. Totally.
Pam Barragan. And tell us a little bit about yourself and your why you're here. Tell us why you're here.
So let's stop for a moment, because one of the reasons that Pam is here is because Women in Film Dallas is going to be doing a special project, which is a PSA of this organization that Pam's going to talk with us about today. So this is, kudos, shout out to you and your organization, but also to Women in Film. So,
Yes.
all right. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so first off, thank you guys for having me. Such a cool honor. Love you to death. You know that. Miss Gail, I just met you the last podcast. Love her to death.
Great.
So again, my name is Pam Barragan. I am actually going to be a former student of the school.
All right.
2.5 years straight at Media Tech Institute, which is a game changer, guys. Come check it out. But I'm also on the board for Valor Ranch, valorranchtx.org. We are a nonprofit for homeless female veterans. And I pitched the opportunity. Women in Film Dallas, they asked for nonprofits to kind of pitch an idea, so they can give back to the community with a PSA. So I put Valor Ranch in, and we got picked up, which is so cool. And it's really a unique nonprofit, and it's for homeless female veterans. And the founders are Josh Graham and Carrie Ann. And Carrie Ann, her late husband, died from complications from Vietnam. He's a combat veteran. And he kind of was like, promise me you'll take care of my brothers and sisters. So she didn't know what that looked like. And after doing some work herself, she realized it was the female veterans that are very underserved when it comes to this. So she knew it wanted to be a ranch. And we just did a ribbon cutting ceremony November of 2020. So just a few months ago. We have partnerships with some amazing nonprofits around here that are providing mental health resources for the ladies. Stay the Course, they're under the 22 Kill nonprofit umbrella. Amazing people. And the women will have up to 12 months to stay on the ranch in a tiny home. And they will learn how to feed the horses, clean stuff, garden, sew, like you name it, they'll do it. And they also have target dates within, their time being there, as far as getting all their training that they need to get. Just first 3 months, they're going to go through some really cool programs to kind of get rid of that baggage, that happened to them, whether it be military sexual trauma or what have you. Some pretty deep stuff, but they're in a very safe location to work on this. They don't have to stay the 12 months, but they have up to 12 months and maybe longer if they need to, depending on case-by-case basis. So we've got tiny homes that are super cute.
Yes. And what else is very cute out there, Pam? Tell everyone what's really cute out there.
The baby goats.
Baby goats!
The baby goats. The Billy goat, he kind of owns the property. He walks around, he gets all the other lady goats pregnant, which is, I don't get it, but he does it. So we've had 2 rounds.
That's one good thing he can do there.
I mean, and then he just roams and does his thing, and he's like typical. Well, I won't say it. Never mind.
So how did you get involved with this organization?
I went through a training that Carrie Ann went through, and then Josh, and just to kind of heal from a lot of our stuff. It was emotional core training.
So are you saying that you're a vet?
I am.
Yes.
I am.
And you served in what branch?
I was in the Coast Guard.
How did you pick the Coast Guard?
Well, I wanted to jump out of helicopters, to be honest with you. I grew up in South Texas. I'm like, I want to do that.
Does the Coast Guard work with the helicopter people? Or when I hear Coast Guard, I think you're on a boat the whole time.
No. I mean, so we are the 5th branch of the military, which we get a lot of crap for. Yeah. We're like the redheaded stepchildren, which is totally cool. And it's a love-hate relationship that it's totally cool. But yeah, we do a lot of different missions. I was on small boats. I went aviation for a brief stint, but I ended up going back on the boats and did search and rescue and all that crazy stuff. So a lot of really hard falls and hits. And
how long were you in the Coast Guard?
11 years total.
11 years.
Mhm.
I don't think
Oh
I
my
even, and
God.
I've known you for years, and I don't even think I knew that it was that long.
Is that like a third of your life?
Sure. Maybe it's half my life if we want to just kind of butter it up a little bit.
Yeah.
No, I spent 9 active, 2 reserves, and then I got hurt, had to get out. I hit my 18th year anniversary just this past February. When I enlisted, it was crazy. So I just kind of aged myself. But
Well, I'm sure I can say on behalf of everyone out there, thank you for your service.
absolutely, thank you.
Of course.
Total my honor.
And what I love is that not only did you just serve, but you are also giving back to your community.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of what Women in Film is about too, is giving back and supporting each other. And it just so happens that I did some reading up on this, and there are tons of organizations out there for men going through PTSD and whatnot, but there are few, if any, that I know of that are geared specifically toward female veterans. So
And it was interesting to read that there are 1.8 million female vets in this country. A tenth of them are in Texas. I mean, that's incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, Texas has, and actually DFW, like Arlington, this whole area has probably the biggest population that I know of. Could be wrong, but it's the biggest population in the state of Texas of veterans.
And so through that, did you go, you got to Valor Ranch through 22 Kill or?
No, I actually, I was friends with Carrie Ann and Josh when we got the help that we needed, just kind of working on our stuff. And it was on Carrie Ann's life plan. Like she made a life plan.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
hey, I remember it was in a spiral notebook. She's like, I want to do this, and this is who I want to serve, and this is what it looks like. And at first it was like so many acres, men on one side, women on the other. And if you ask them, they were like, they just realized that was a big Jerry Springer show waiting to happen. So they said we probably shouldn't do that. So it really became about the women, because Carrie Ann dealt with veterans before that, and she noticed a lot of the women were couch surfing or sleeping in their vehicles.
Right.
Or if they end up on the streets, it's not as safe for a lot of the women to be out on the streets without that support.
I was reading a little bit about Carrie Ann on the website. There's an amazing Valor Ranch, Texas, because there's another Valor Ranch in another part of the country, but Valor Ranch, Texas online, you can do that also. And her motto or saying on the website is hope defeats suicide, which is, really powerful stuff. And somewhere I was reading that suicide rates are up among people who are vets, but women up by 82.5%. That's staggering. So why is that? Why is that?
I mean, I don't know. I know, like, if you talk to Carrie Ann and Josh and myself, we all have a story.
Yep.
We all have a story that is very closely related to that topic. And so 22 veterans commit suicide every day, which is a stagger. It's probably higher now because of COVID and everything else.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I was leading into the 22 Kill and what they do and what they're about, so that you could explain that to our people out there.
Yeah. Well, well, 22 Kill is a local, they're 4.5 miles away from here. Their headquarters from the school. And their mission, the VA came out with a study in like 2012 or 13 that every day we're losing 22 veterans to suicide.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And it was a group
I get chills when I think about it, because it puts a number, when it's just so finite when it's,
It was crazy. And a group of Marines actually started the 22 push-up challenge because of it, to raise awareness. And you've probably seen that go viral, like on Facebook or something, like, I challenge you to 22 push-ups. I challenge you, right? A day for 22 days. And that's them that started it. And people like The Rock and celebrities, took notice. And they also have an honor ring, the black honor rings that we wear on our trigger fingers. There's a reason it's on our trigger finger, number one.
There you go.
So you don't remember, you know that you're not alone. Number two, it's a silent salute to all veterans, past and present. And number three, it's to spark conversation about it. So it's a really good branding thing, if you will, but it's very, you wear this ring, you're part of the tribe.
So the whole 22, there's a 2,200 taps that you do. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because I didn't I thought, why is it 22? So it must be connected to that then.
Yeah. So thank you for asking that. It's so about 7 years ago, I was really close to taking myself out. And that's where, I'm like, I need to get help. All I had to do was plan it. And thankfully, I had an opportunity to come down to Texas. I was in Chicago, came down to Texas, got the help I needed, took it off the table, met Carrie Ann and all these amazing people. And it was here at the school that 2200 Taps was born. And we were in Crystal's class for music business. And it was part of the branding. It's like, who are you? What's your brand? And I was like, man, 2200, that's when Taps is played. It's very symbolic. And then Taps, remember, it was just all this
Okay,
stuff.
so explain that. Not everybody is very familiar with what you're talking about as far as Taps and 22 and 2200, which is military time. So go in a little bit to that.
Yeah, so every night at 2200, which is 10 o'clock p.m. for civilians, right? Throughout ships, regiments, Taps is played. And that's to signify that it's time to go to bed. Like it's time to hit the rack, maintain silence about the decks, the whole 9 yards, right? So that was very symbolic. And I knew 2200 was something I wanted. And then Taps to honor everybody we've lost. And then after talking to Carrie Ann and my podcast, it evolved where 2200 became the number 22, that we lose a day. Our goal is to get to 0. So 2200.
Oh, that's great.
So organically just kind of kept evolving. And it's no matter which angle you look at it or want to talk about it, it's all going to hit the same topic. And mental health is important to us. And that's why we do what we do.
So why don't you go ahead and plug as well your podcast while we're here?
Okay. My podcast is the 2200 Taps podcast. It's on all major platforms. It's 2200 TAPS. You can also find me at 2200taps.com. I'm on Instagram. We're in 19 different countries.
Wow.
It's nuts. And we our guests share like their traumas and their tragedies, but how they've been able to overcome it. Because somebody needs to hear that story.
Yeah, that's important.
And that's why we do it. And my guests have been amazing. They have gone to deeper than I ever thought anybody could go when sharing their stories. It's very explicit, very hard, but very beautiful.
And through that, I have to brag on you a little bit. She's also just recently, Pam got through the recording arts program at Media Tech, and then for whatever reason, I'm so grateful, decided to stick around and take the digital film program. And that leads you to your next project that is on the table that you've been working on.
Yeah, we have a part of the film program by your last semester. You've studied all this stuff, and now it's time that the rubber meets the road. So we had to create a short film. And you get to pitch your script, and if the class votes on it, it gets picked up, and you make the movie off of that. And I wrote about my story kind of on a whim, and I'm like, they're not gonna pick this thing up, and they picked it up, and things got really fast. Thankfully here pretty soon, and by the time y'all see this, we would have already done it. We are premiering our short film called Damned If I Do, and it follows the mental health of my story. What happened, how I was very suicidal, and what I needed to do to get help. And then we Hollywooded it, right? So it's kind of cool. But the nonprofits.
She's some really great guest stars in her film, by the way.
Yeah, we had some really good nonprofits that supported us. And then Tiffany, we leaned on her for our instructor scene.
It was a stretch. I had to go from being an instructor to playing an instructor on camera.
And she was a very annoyed instructor, so it was perfect.
Oh, man, don't give it away.
Oh, yeah. No, it was great. It was fantastic. It was our little foursome team. The amount of support we had behind it, I couldn't have asked for anything better. Could not. Between the school, the faculty, the nonprofits, it's just nuts, man. This is so cool.
And I do hear from a very reliable source, the program director for the digital film department, that your film may be in the grouping of some of the best films ever to come out of our school.
I would agree.
So congratulations on
really
that.
cool,
That is
man.
Super exciting. I can't wait to walk the red carpet on Wednesday. It's going to be so awesome.
Yeah. Well, I got to put a plug in for Jordan. Jordan's doing our videography today.
Thank you, Jordan.
I wish we could just turn the camera. His film is actually debuting with ours, and his lineup with us. I mean, we're pretty solid.
I've seen some
cool.
of the stuff that of your film, Jordan, and I can't wait. It looks really exciting.
Yeah.
And what a great segue, because how we got involved with Pam to begin with, aside from being a new member to Women in Film Dallas, is she is our co-producer and our recording engineer for this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So she slices and dices it and sends it to me, and I go, yes, that's great. Or, no, you've got to get rid of that chin down there. She can't do that,
Can't do
really.
that.
That's something I'm going to have to do all by myself.
Yeah. No, it's quite a stretch, and it's a blessing and an honor to have my toe like in every which way I look.
It's super cool. I love
really
that
cool.
because you're not just, you like to think of yourself as recording arts and you come from the audio world, but people want to separate that from film, but audio is a part of film. And one of the things that I know that you're really great at is coming up with scores and background music. And so don't consider yourself a non-filmmaker, even though you're not in your film class anymore and you're out in the real world, because we utilize audio people all the time, and you will be working, I'm sure.
Well,
no
what's
problem.
great for us to hear, and everybody who will be listening to this, is that people are always looking, how is it that I make a life for myself in this business? And anymore, you can't do just one thing. I mean, you have to be able to be what they call a hyphenate, all right? So, and you're a fantastic example of someone who's doing all that and how one thing leads to another. So, and I just want to say one thing that really inspired me when I was reading about Valor Ranch, that the woman who does the equine therapy, horse-related therapy there, it's Rachel Wilson is her name, and they talk about her being also involved with kintsugi, which is the Japanese art of putting together broken ceramic pieces and embedding gold flakes in it, so that there is a sense of valuing or finding the beauty in the scars, which is what so much of what you're talking about is. Yes, we went through some really hard times, but there's beauty in that. And I think that's a message that everyone is probably going to draw some inspiration from.
I feel like we all need to do that, man.
Coming out of COVID.
Maybe Women in Film will have this woman come and we'll all make our little gold pots with little gold things.
Well, it's cool when you say that is when you go to the ranch, the main common area, it's all like resalvaged,
found objects,
everything. We have
reclaimed objects.
We have a church pew. We have like all this random stuff, but it just fits and it's beautiful, and the entire point of that is to show that, you know what, even though we found it on the side of the road, or even though it was part of something that got thrown away, you could still resalvage it and turn it into something beautiful, which is what you're talking about with kintsugi. Right. Absolutely. So that's a big thing with the women, is to look around and be like, this is gonna be good stuff.
And the purpose
And the purpose,
fantastic. Looking forward to the PSA. We already have a producer, director. The script is evolving.
It is evolving. They were going to do a location scout this weekend. It had to get moved. Weather and things happened, as does in our. We know this happens in our world. But yes, one of our intern, Madison, is going to be working on the script. I've already seen a lot of the work that they've done on it, and they're really getting in there in order to get this 60-second spot right where it needs to be. So,
and there will be a call for crew and cast.
That is correct.
Yes.
That is correct.
Will be on the Women in Film
website. We'll put it on the listserv. We'll definitely put it out there on the social media as well. And a lot, like with some of the PSAs that we do, we can't necessarily always use the people that are using whatever service that we're doing. Like with the Promise House, we actually cast real children to keep the anonymity of the children that were a part of the Promise House. That's just kind of the deal. So we will be casting for those female veterans to be out there on the ranch, which will be awesome.
It's really cool. And the baby goats, man. Those baby, you got to go check them out.
Can we do yoga with the baby goats?
You probably could.
I've seen yoga with goats, but I haven't seen yoga with baby goats.
You could do that, but I can't promise their dad's going to,
come give us the horns.
Which, speaking of horns, their little nubs are adorable when they're babies.
Yeah, you keep saying that they're babies, and I'm like, someday they're gonna grow up, Pam.
I'm sure we're gonna have another batch pretty soon, given their daddy. I mean, it's cute. They kind of beat each other up, but they're adorable. They're so funny.
Yeah.
So funny. And they're fainting goats.
On top of everything else, people, if you did not get it from the first time that we have baby goats, we have not only have baby goats, but we have baby fainting goats.
Baby fainting goats.
I can do that. I can play a goat.
You can play a goat.
I can audition for the goat.
Absolutely. That's going to be your role in the PSA. I can't wait to see you in your little gruff little...
Yeah, Reba Goat and Tire is one of them. Reba Goat and Tire.
I love it.
Yeah. Oh, Reba Goat and Tire. She's amazing. They're all named, so they're all our babies.
Well, we look forward to seeing it, and thank you so much, Pam, for joining us. We're going to let you get back on the other side of the world and do your audio thing.
Absolutely.
And we'll be right back to wrap up. We're going to put some, whatever, things, the graphics.
Wow. She's incredible.
I know, right?
I'm so psyched about this PSA.
Yeah, me too. So, thank you, Pam. That was really awesome. Now that she's back on her side of the world.
Good luck with your screening
and finals.
Mm-hmm.
And we will see you hopefully on the 25th. We want to see all of you on the 25th for our Oscar party. The other thing that we have coming up is May 3rd will be that's May. Yeah, that is May.
It is May, right? Yeah.
I said March earlier today, and somebody, was it you? Somebody was like, "You mean May?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's Blur's Day, whatever."
Okay.
So May 3rd is our M&Ms, which is our monthly women's
meeting. Women in Film.
Yes, and then on every Wednesday, at least me and Gail will be there showing up on the Zoom for you.
Mm-hmm.
And please look forward to some in-person things. If you like this podcast, click like and subscribe and share with your friends.
And pass it on. Yeah.
And leave comments of things that you would like to hear about. If you have any questions for Tiff or Gail, you can reach us in the comments or you can email us. And if you need more information on Women in Film Dallas, go to www.wifdallas.org for more information on Media Tech Institute, who is sponsoring. Look at this freaking
Great
studio.
background.
I mean, we have made it to the big time. I mean, people are recording podcasts in their closet. We're like state of the art. That's how we roll. So check us out at www.mediatech.edu for more information. And I guess we'll see you guys next time on Just Saying.